Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south. More specifically, we are in the Great Smoky Mountain Park here on the Tennessee side. Now, this morning I was driving over to the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area and I saw a name. I'd driven through the parkway hundreds and hundreds of times going over to Gatlinburg, to Pigeon Forge, but I saw a name. I saw a name that was unfamiliar to me. I saw the name Kawohi. Now, this is a new name for something very familiar. In fact, it's not a new name at all. It is the original name returns back to a popular attraction here in the Smoky Mountains. Now, I have known this through my life coming here as Clingmans Dome, but the original name that the Cherokee gave the mountain was Kawohi. At some point, a cartographer listed it on his maps as Clingmans Dome. I guess no one had told him that it already had a name, Kawohi. So it was, in recent years, the tribe, the Cherokee tribe, which lives on the North Carolina side, just right at the end of the parkway, is the Cherokee Reservation. And they have been petitioning to change the name back to the original Kawohi. So as of last September, the name change was official. It is no longer Clingman's Dome. It is now Kawohi. Apparently this was considered to be a sacred site for the Cherokee, a very important part of their culture. So I think only fitting that, well, the name probably should have never been changed in the first place, because after all, there's people living here. They had a name for it, and other people came in and said, nah, we'll pick our own name. But yeah, the sign here, you can see it's freshly changed. You got the piece of wood over here. I guess this used to say Clingman's Dome, but now it says Kawohi. And then you actually have Kawohi written out here in the Cherokee language. You can see other signage here that's been changed with the new name, Kawohi. And a lot of important trails around through here. The Appalachian Trail. You can get on the Appalachian Trail in half a mile. One of the most famous trails in the United States. Goes from here to Maine. And then the Mountains to Sea Trail, half a mile. So you can walk from here to the sea. That seems like a long walk. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we'll do that. Now, Kawohi, formerly known as Clingman's Dome, an important mountain here in the Great Smoky Mountains Park. As a matter of fact, it is the tallest mountain in the Great Smoky Mountains Park and the tallest mountain in the state of Tennessee. So I figure, why don't we? It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been up to the top. It's been years and years. But let's head up to the top of Kawohi. And here we have the gift shop for Kawohi. I guess gift shop and information center. They give out information over here and then sell gifts over here. And they have brand new merch with the new name on it, Kawohi. And if you want a collector's item, they do have some of the Clingman's Dome merch left as well. And you get your brand new Kawohi t-shirt here. That's the observation tower that is at the top of the mountain. Yeah, they still have both versions here. You have the Kawohi patch. I think this goes on like a walking stick. But they do have some of the old Clingman's Dome. You can see they actually have pretty much the same image with the different names. I maybe need to get one of these at some point. They're actually scratch-offs where you have all these national parks, and then as you visit them, you scratch them off and reveal the color underneath. Oh, there's Indiana Dunes. That's the closest one that I grew up to. Grew up going to the dunes. Yeah, they have a lot of the good ones on here. And let's go mountain climbing. I did switch out my Crocs for some proper walking shoes. Was not expecting to do anything in nature today, but let's go for it. We just head up this path here. As you see, it's paved. It's very wide. So it's a pretty easy walk. It's just fairly straight up. So in some ways it's intense. In some ways it's easy. I take it back. It's not easy. It's easy terrain. You know, the terrain is all flat. It is all paved, but you're pretty much just going up, 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 up the whole time, which makes sense. I mean, you're going to the top of a mountain. Wouldn't necessarily want to go down.
Exactly. Well, it's good enough for me.
Actually, a little bit like short of breath. I'm wondering, I've been gone from home for so long. I've been out of the mountains for 2 months. I feel like I've lost my adaptation to the higher elevation. Oh boy, my gumption sure drained pretty quick here. Yeah, no race to the top here. I'm gonna take it nice and easy. A slow, easy walk to the top of the tallest mountain in the Smoky Mountains. You actually get a peek here of the beautiful views. You can see the mountains as we are getting up a little higher here. Also, there's this giant berry patch here. Now, the word Kawohi actually refers to the mulberries that grow in this area. I think, I could be wrong, I think these are blackberries, but a lot of berries nonetheless. And you can see the mountains there fading off into the distance. That's why they refer to it as the Blue Ridge, because it's kind of blue. Now, I was incorrect at the beginning. I said we were in Tennessee. We actually started the video in North Carolina. The parking lot for Kawohi is in North Carolina. Once you go around this corner here, this curve, you are in Tennessee. The path actually flattens out a bit right here, which is kind of a massive relief. And this trail here that cuts across, this is the Appalachian Trail. So this, if you go in the right direction, will take you all the way to Maine. I was recently up in Maine. That's a long way from here. I can't imagine doing it on foot. Maybe someday. Maybe someday if I lose my mind enough, if I could just go that much more crazy, I will attempt to walk the Appalachian Trail. Although my performance today is not indicating that I'm physically headed in that direction. It's, you know, when you haven't been out climbing mountains in a while, it's rough, but that's okay, you know. It's okay to struggle. It's okay for things to be difficult. You know, the important thing is that you get out there and you try to do things. You don't necessarily want to exceed your physical limit, but sometimes you want to try to, you know, bump up against it. And we have reached the last chapter of this upward climb. This is the observation tower here at the top of Kawohi, formerly Clingmans Dome, because going to the top of the tallest mountain here in the Smokies, not good enough. You need to go just a little higher. But let's head to the top of this thing. You can see here this big curving ramp that takes you up to the very top. Yeah, such an interesting structure here. It winds around these trees here. Yeah, on top here you can see a lot of these wind-swept trees at the very tip of the mountain. I think it is a good idea they made this tower climbable by ramp instead of the dreaded staircases. I'm kind of sick of observation staircases at this point. And here we go, the final leg of our trip to the true top of Kawohi. Yeah, I looked out at that ramp there. It takes us all the way to the top of the tower. Now this shows us what we are looking at here. And actually this is the original tower. So originally it did have stairs. It was a wood structure that you just climbed the stairs to the top to. It shows us the different mountain peaks that we can see from here. You can see Mount Mitchell out there. You see Cold Mountain, made famous by the book and film Cold Mountain. Got these beautiful 360 views here. And it's a little cloudy today, but you can just kind of make out. You can see a little bit of Pigeon Forge there over that ridge. And here's the western view. And this actually shows us where the state line is between North Carolina and Tennessee, winding through the mountains there. If you look right there at that hill, the state line cuts right over top that. So down there it would cut across the trail we just walked into. So most of the climb here was in North Carolina, but the very last bit, that flat bit, and then this tower, and the very tip top of the mountain are in Tennessee. And it does say here that these dead trees are victims of a insect parasite, and that also the air pollution up here is also affecting the trees. So again, not the clearest of days, but still an absolutely beautiful 360 view we have of the mountains. But now we begin our descent, not into madness, but to the bottom of the mountain. Hopefully it should be a little easier going down when you're walking downward. Actually, I think some people say that walking downward is actually harder for them. I think it just depends on the composition of your body. I prefer downward rather than upward. Do you guys like walking up hills or down hills? Leave a comment in the comment section.
Yeah, right. Without maintenance.
Oh, I can see the parking lot from here. Although it seems pretty far away. Oh, and we have made it here to the bottom of the hill. So still beautiful as ever. Goodbye to Clingmans Dome and hello to Kawohi. But now let's head on to Gatlinburg. Oh my gosh, there's a bear. Look at that. Little bear. Hey, bear. There was years and years when I drove back and forth over here where I never saw a bear. And I feel like I see a bear almost every time I come through here now. Seems like the bear population may be exploding. And we have arrived in Gatlinburg. Out here in front of Ripley's Haunted Adventure, we have a new figure. Oh, I thought she was waxed, but she just moved. I saw you move. You guys saw her move, right? See how realistic her hands are. I swear she moved. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, there she goes. She's cackling. So I definitely wanted to check on how things were going. What was new here? What was new here in Gatlinburg? I've been away from home so far. Kind of wanted to dig my feet back in. Of course, I'm leaving again in a couple days, but wanted to spend some more time over here in the Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg. So I did want to see kind of what was new over here, but I'm also on a mission. I've heard rumor that there's something new here that I am seeking out. Over here by the Ripleys, believe it or not, we have the Ripleys Arcade. So that's kind of like a little gift shop in here. And I noticed some new Ripleys t-shirts that I really like. This is It's Time to Get Weird, kind of a mutant Kit Kat clock. We have this skull here with the cool 80s colors. And I really like this one. I'm almost thinking about buying it. The Fiji Mermaid t-shirt, a Sideshow classic, Ripley's Believe It or Not. And of course they have these super weird creatures here. The Elorilla, half elephant, half gorilla. The T-Rex B, or maybe B-Rex, if you will. This is like a dog penguin. Got little smaller versions of them here. The duck horse. And that may be the biggest hork I've ever seen. I actually gave a hork as a gift to my family's white elephant this last year. And I have not seen this before. This is a little construction worker bear sitting over here in front of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Now I've seen they have the snow people that come out on the streets of Gatlinburg and sit on these benches. The fiberglass snow people come out in the winter. In the fall, we had the pumpkin-headed people come out. And I guess now in the summer, we get the bears coming out in Gatlinburg. And this is new. We got a new barbecue place, Myron Dixon's BBQ. You see the three little pigs in heaven there. It says here Myron is a 5-time world barbecue champion. So yeah, let's check this place out. Never been here before. Look at this, got wanted posters all over the walls here as we head upstairs. It says, "Giddy up, cowboy." So apparently this is brand new. Myron's opened a week ago, so I'm lucky to caught it right when it's open. We'll see how it is. Now here is the menu. Kind of your traditional barbecue. The one thing is a little different here, I've never seen before, is the smoked beef bologna as part of the barbecued meats. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to try a little bit of that. They also serve the whiskeys of the South, so different whiskeys from all over the South. Apparently they don't drink whiskey in North Carolina or Louisiana or Arkansas. So instead of like chips and salsa, they serve warm pork rinds with your food, and they have their own barbecue sauce here. The server said that the hickory sauce was good with the pork rinds, so we'll put a little dab on there. Let's give that a try. That actually is really good. It's like a smoky barbecue sauce. And those are good pork rinds. And my food has arrived. So I got some of the pulled pork. In this part of the country, barbecue is all about the pulled pork. And again, smoked bologna, like a thick cut of bologna there. That was interesting, a little different, so I wanted to try it. Then I got some green beans and loaded potato salad as well. Okay, let's try the pulled pork first, kind of that southern staple. Very tasty, very tender. Now let's see what this smoked bologna tastes like. That is really interesting. You know, it does have like, you know, that bologna sandwich taste with a really thick cut and really, really smoky flavor to it. Try some of those green beans. So they have like the peppers and onions in there with that. And then we'll do some of the potato salad. Ooh, that's good. A lot of bacon, sour cream, cheese. Some really good potato salad. Yeah, all in all, it's a very, very good. So yeah, that was really, really good. I ate just about everything. Didn't eat my corn muffin, but I usually don't. Anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. This was so good. I would definitely eat here again. I think it's great having a just a classic, good barbecue restaurant here on the Gatlinburg Strip. So I didn't realize it at first, but this actually used to be Crawdaddy's, a New Orleans-style restaurant here on the Gatlinburg Strip. That's why it has this New Orleans-style balcony out here. It was actually a wonderful view. I ate inside, but this would be a great, maybe with a little cooler, it'd be nice to sit out here and you can actually just watch the Gatlinburg Strip out in front of you. You can see the Sky Park there, the chairlift that takes the people up to the top of the mountain, and you can see that ever terrifying sky bridge up there. It's got an American flag hanging off it right now. Over by the bathroom, this pig says, "You just yeed your last haw." Area over here where you can buy some sauces. Yes, this is Myron Dixon here, the man who founded this restaurant. And here is one of his championships. This is the grand champion at the Memphis in May International Festival World Championship Barbecue Cooking Contest. Yeah, Memphis knows their barbecue. And apparently he is a brisketarian. You know, I may change my party affiliation to brisketarian at some point. So here we have another bear on the streets, and it doesn't seem to use any bears as there are snowmen and pumpkin people. Well, we saw the one bear over by Ripley's, and then we see the lady bear here in the dress out in front of Earthquake the Ride. And since we're back over here by Earthquake the Ride, I think we should give it a ride. I've heard rumors, unconfirmed rumors, that it will not be here forever. So I think I definitely want to ride it every chance that I can get. All right, and we are headed in. Oh, I'm gonna sit here in the second row. Yeah, normally I sit in the front, so this is giving me a little bit of a different perspective.
Section control, we have a train on our track and it's coming at us.
It's coming at us.
Control, we have a train on our track and it's coming right at us.
Whoa. Oh, you hear that gorilla? Can you hear that gorilla?
There's been a train crash and it's on fire.
The train's on fire.
We're experiencing
Get a good look at this guy over here. The conductor. He's on his cell phone. Oh! The posters there for, whoop! Posters for rush hour. On the right, oh, yeah. See the gorilla, he's loose.
Let's get out of here. I really hate snakes. I don't have a good feeling.
Alligator. Oh, there's the big alligator.
All right, don't worry, we're gonna make it.
Don't worry, we're gonna make it. That could be good. Oh, watch out for the ladder. Watch out over here. The barrel of toxic waste. Somebody say that. Look at the wilder ride back here. Oh, there it goes. He's out. Gorilla on the freight platform has broken out. Oh, the rats. Headed back into the station. Well, there you go. We got two gorillas. Long live Earthquake the Ride. Now, I said before I'd heard rumors that it was maybe not long for this world, but it is here right now. We can enjoy it right now, and fingers crossed, it'll be here forever. Maybe the rumors were unfounded. Maybe situations have changed. As long as this is here, I will ride it. Now, what I'm seeking out is back here in Baskin's Square. I usually don't come back in here. Looks like there's a religious clothing shop, God's World. A couple different clothing shops back here. As I'm wandering around here, I think I'm in the wrong place. I don't think what I'm looking for is here in Baskin Square. There's a lot of little shops and inlets here on the main strip, so it can be difficult finding one particular shop. Okay, but we found it. Baskin Square is right there. It's right before you get to Baskin Square. We have the Maples Tree. And here it is. I can hardly believe what I am looking at. There is a mold-a-rama / mold-o-matic, here called Plastomatic, in Tennessee. These are incredibly rare. If you've been following my channel, I made it kind of a mission to hunt down all these machines and to get the molds from them. And traditionally, there's been like none in the South. There was some in Knoxville at one point, but they did discontinue having them. So there's basically two companies that still refurbish it. I think there's, actually I take that back. I think there's like 3 companies that refurbish these. That would be the Mold-a-Rama company out of Chicago, and the Mold-a-matic company generally does their work out of Florida. So most of the machines in Florida go to the Mold-a-matic, and then the Mold-a-rama does the Midwest area. And then there is Moldville, who has put out some custom machines as well. This is a little bit of history. This machine was created in the early 60s, made popular at the 1964 World's Fair. Everything comes back to the World's Fair. Less than 125 machines is still in existence. I believe it. The only all these machines are antiques. They don't make new ones. So when one breaks down, sometimes they may have to cannibalize another machine to get it working. So they're slowly evaporating. And it says this is only 2 working machines in Tennessee. And honestly, I need to do some research because I don't know where the other working machine in Tennessee is. Like I said, they used to have them at the Knoxville Zoo. Those are not operating anymore. But here we have a Smoky Mountain Mold-a-matic here at the Maples Tree. And what better fit than that black bear, the icon of Gatlinburg, icon of the Smoky Mountains. And I do believe, I could be wrong, I don't know that I necessarily have this this mold here, this bear mold. So yeah, let's get this machine fired up. This one does not have a credit card option, so we'll be sliding a $5 bill into here. There we go, there we go. It's gonna rumble. There we go. Oh, there's our bear. Saw a bear earlier driving here. Now we can take one home. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, well-formed, beautiful, plastomatic bear. Yeah, so excited. I don't know, there may have been mold machines here in the Smoky Mountains once upon a time, but as far as I know, here in the Smokies, this is the only mold. The molds are now here in the Smoky Mountains. So excited to see this machine. I'm not 100% sure where this came from, who is operating this machine, or where they acquired this, but it is amazing. Come in here if you're on the streets of Gatlinburg. Get yourself a little plastic bear. It's funny, when I printed this out, some people behind me, a lot of people started gathering around watching. I think a lot of people in this area are probably not familiar with the mold machines, and someone asked me, oh, is that a 3D printer? I'm like, well, kind of, but it's actually from the 1960s. So they're looking at it, wow, that's amazing. This, kind of the, in a way, kind of is the original 3D printer. And not only do they have a mold-o-matic, you have all wonderful things. Oh,
come on over. For a small fee, Zoltar will give you a wealth of wisdom.
Got Zoltar here as well.
Zoltar the Great Gypsy is here to give you ancient wisdom for your happiness. Pay attention now. Men of genius are admired. Men of wealth are envied. Men of power are feared. But only men of character are trusted. And you know, it never hurts to bribe your friends on sometimes. For example, give me a bit more cash, and I will give
always
you
wants more
your
cash.
fortune.
They have some free samples here as well of different salsas. Let's try some of this demon salsa. Should I be worried about this demon salsa? It's not too demonic, although it's probably going to get demonic here in a second. And over here we have the iconic arcade Fanny Farles. They are famous for their corn dogs, or ogle dogs, if you will. You see some sizzling dogs right there in the deep fryer. And this is new, right here in the entranceway. We have a fortune-telling Donald Trump. He's actually holding a corn dog there in his hand. It says, get your fortune and a chance to win a free corn dog. So, wow, you actually have a chance of winning here. So let's swipe this. I charged my Fanny Farkle card with $1, and you never remember which way to swipe it. Let's see that one.
Here at Fanny Farkle, we have the world's greatest corn dog. These things are huge.
Oh, he's actually talking about Fanny Farkles.
Never had a better corn dog in my life. Come to the food, stay to the fun, maggot.
Oh wow, he's got his custom card there.
We have the world's greatest corn dog. These things are huge.
Doesn't look like it. And here at Fanny Farkles, they have all their prizes hanging up in the rafters. You can see these giant corn dogs here. And this is nice. They have a memorial here to the greatest fan of Fanny Farkles, Tom LeBeau. Says he came here on his honeymoon in the 1980s, and then came multiple times a year for 40 years. Says he passed away in 2019, and his game card, I guess he kept his one game card. It had 1 million points on it. So $1 million in tickets. He is an arcade millionaire. When he passed away, so I guess he never even got to spend it. Looks like you can win a Hulk Hogan belt, like a Hulkamania champion. It's one of those games you got to cut the string there, and that string looks like it's pretty sturdy. It takes quite a few snips to cut those strings. But man, that is a cool belt. And over here at the Redemption Center, where you get your prizes, they actually have their own merchandise that you can win. I don't even know if you can purchase these. You have to earn them. There's the coffee mug there, different glasses of the shot variety. This place also has the best carpet anywhere. You see Fanny Farkle there, being surrounded by floating corn dogs. We're at Whack-A-Clown. It's a variation on the classic Whack-A-Mole game. Yeah, let's play around. Let's play a round of whack-a-mole. One day I'll figure out how to swipe these cards. There we go. Now, whack-a-mole was invented by Kazo Yamada of Japan. He gave birth to this very popular style of game. You don't want to hit the red clowns here. You just got to hit the other. Oh, don't hit any of them. You don't hit them when they're red. Game over. Oh, I gained 65, 75. I have 75 points on my card. I'm far way out from a million. Now this is interesting. These claw machines here try to win this bag. You don't know what's in the bag, but it says Fanny's Fortunes. Even grab that fortune there. All right, move the claw. Try to get it right over the bag there. I think it's nice and lined up. Maybe a few adjustments, and then we will drop it. Oh, what's clearly going to get it? Like, look at that, perfect. But it doesn't. The claw's not strong enough because E-Claw's a ripoff. And this was always one of my favorites. The carnival punks you got to knock down off the ledges. Here we got the pulsing circus music. Aim. Oh my gosh. There we go. Down with the clowns. Oh, the top ones I think are worth the most points. Should be aiming for the top ones. Oh my gosh, they're almost like they're harder to hit. Oh man, that's not a lot of clowns.
This makes perfect. Try it again.
I guess we'll end here with a round of skee ball. We got one ball. Oh, one more bear. This one's wearing a tie-dye shirt. Like I said, these are a little harder to find than the snow people and pumpkin heads. Now, it's been a while here since I've stopped at the Hot Sauce Museum here at the Pepper Palace here in Gatlinburg. Pepper Palace is all over now, but it actually originated here in the Smoky Mountains. So let's go peek at the Hot Sauce Museum. So they did actually have a museum that had a bunch of old different hot sauces in here at one point, but it looks like they've all been moved out and replaced with modern hot sauces. But of course, you shouldn't pass up an opportunity to try some ridiculously hot sauces. The Demon salsa wasn't too bad at Maple's Tree, so let's see if we can find something that's going to be really, really unpleasant. So let's try a little bit of the Death Stalker. It's got the Grim Reaper with a scorpion tail on the cover. And here we go. Why do I go in there? Why do I go in there and do that? Oh, my wall's watering. I don't want to spit on camera. That's gross. I need some ice cream or something. Is there ice cream somewhere? I need a big jug of milk. I don't know where I'd find that. All right, here's the cookie store. People drink milk when they eat cookies. So I think maybe they're the most likely sort of have some milk. Okay, it looks like they only have water, the traditional meal of cookies and water. Well, I shouldn't pass up an opportunity to grab a free cookie sample. Maybe this cookie will make me feel better. Not really. The sugar and crumbs are coarse on my seared tongue. Okay, here we have the Chocolate Monkey ice cream shop. This should be able to find something here to cool my mouth down. Oh, hello, tiny monkey. My face is burning off. Oh, I finally found some relief here. Got some black cherry, one scoop of black cherry ice cream. instant instant relief right there. Oh my gosh, that definitely is a vast improvement. It's just it's the ice cream at the Pepper Palace. Because I went and saw it, I looked in their cooler. They didn't have any drinks. They're out of drinks. Maybe there was milk, but enough people like me ran for it where it's not there anymore. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the perfect medicine. And I heard that there may be a little something new at the Ripley's, believe it or not. So let's peek inside, see what's going on there. A lot of the same stuff out here in the front lobby. We've got the two-trunk elephant, the albino giraffe that have been here since the remodel. And then I believe this is what Chainsaw Man carved out of wood with a chainsaw. We still have Trump out here in the lobby. And as we enter the attraction, that giant gorilla made of shredded tires. And because it's Gatlinburg, we start with a bear-related exhibit. This woman here, her name is Nancy Wilson. She was 5'4", 130 pounds, and she was able to kill a black bear with one swing of her frying pan. It's an angry bear. Old Nancy looks pretty angry too. Come out here in what is known as the jungle. Of course, the classic Ripley's shrunken head. This shrunken head here, very well decorated. And in the trophy vault, they have one of the rarest shrunken heads of all. It is a shrunken head attached to a shrunken torso. Now, what makes this even more special is it belonged to Ernest Hemingway, who actually was just down in Key West at his home, got to pet some of his cats. And I guess at one point, his cats were cuddling up with this this shrunken torso. This actually was in the Key West Ripleys before it closed down. Man, I miss the Key West Ripleys a lot. You know, I'm kind of glad that we don't shrink each other's heads anymore. And there's the man, Robert Ripley, who traveled all over the world collecting strange and unusual things. It says that these are actually some of the chests and suitcases that he would travel with. Apparently he was a heavy packer. And the amazing Mr. Ito, this Japanese man, decided to create an exact duplicate of himself. He created it out of wood and actually added his own personal touches to it, his own hair, his own eyelashes, even his own teeth he added to the sculpture. He used this mirror here to make sure that it was perfect. The bathroom here, we have this ghostly figure in the mirror.
Wash their hands after using the bathroom? I know. I'm wonderful. Hey, nice to meet you.
How are you doing? Oh, yeah. What was that? And here we enter where we have some of the Ripley's real-life characters, unusual people that were featured by Ripley's. And this is Edward Hanger, who is the world's thinnest man. Of course, they've given him a little Gatlinburg flair, and here he is juggling 3 jugs of moonshine. And here in the middle we have Walter Hudson, who was at one point the heaviest man in the world. I guess he has lost his crown. I'm not sure who currently holds the title for world's heaviest man, but it says that Walter actually did end up losing the massive weight later in life. And this is a new figure here. This is Sultan Kozen. He is actually the current tallest man in the world. Not as tall as Robert Wadlow, but unlike Wadlow, he is currently still alive. And believe it or not, I actually got a chance to meet him at IAPA at the Ripley's booth one year. Now he did not speak English when I met him, so I couldn't have a conversation with him, but I was able to shake that massive hand of his, which is just, you know, awe-inspiring. And I just have an appreciation for unique and spectacular people. So let me get up here where I measure up to Sultan. So don't even really his chest, so right like the bottom of his chest to see how much taller he is than me. He's 8'2", which is nothing to laugh at. That is a massive human being. But over here we have Wadlow, who has 9 inches on Sultan, the 8'11" Robert Wadlow. Now this is Robert Wadlow in his Gatlinburg clothing, so he's wearing the extra large Dolly Parton t-shirt there. And the Ripley's Giants here, Sultan, Wadlow, and Walter Hudson. And one of the tiniest men, Alpius, an ancient Egyptian who was found guilty of treason and sentenced to prison in a parrot cage. That's kind of humiliating. There's the lighthouse man. He had a hole in his skull, decided you don't want to put it to waste, so he stuck a candle in the hole in order to walk around in dark areas of China. And the croc-tooth man, he worked with crocodiles, and when he lost all his teeth, he decided he wanted to have a croc mouth. So he made dentures out of crocodile teeth, and I guess just prayed that he never bit his tongue. And Marie Casterna here, known as the vampire woman through intense body modification. It's interesting. You have certain people like Sultan and Robert Wadlow who were, you know, born with their unusualness, and some people here, like Maria, like the lighthouse man, like the croc-tooth man, who decided to create themselves, to mold themselves into a highly unusual person. The long-necked woman as well, the people of Myanmar, who would wrap coils around their neck to actually make their necks longer. But actually, they don't make their necks longer. They actually push their shoulders downward. Pauline Muster's the smallest woman ever recorded at 24 inches tall. Pretty much the size, the scale size of a doll. The Walking Dead corner, we have both Rick Grimes painted in barbecue sauce and an original Walker face. And here we have their new temporary exhibit, Sideshow Curiosities. I guess that's a combination of the word curiosities and oddities combined together. But yeah, exhibit here on the classic Sideshow. But starts out with a modern Sideshow performer, Short E Dangerously, who does not have lower legs. You see here on a skateboard. I've actually met him as well at a horror convention. He was performing. Sadly, I missed the performance, but I was able to chat with him a little bit for the video. Here is Johnny Eck, who has a similar body type to Short E Dangerously. And I did ask Shorty Dangerously about Johnny Eck, and I think Shorty does perform the one-handed handstand, much like Johnny Eck. But Shorty told me that he appreciates the work that Johnny Eck did, but kind of wants to be seen as his own man. Doesn't necessarily want to always be compared to Johnny Eck. These are some of Johnny Eck's actual canes that he used during his performances. That's pretty cool. Some real Sideshow artifacts there. Another very, very famous Sideshow performer is General Tom Thumb, real name Charles Stratton. See the figure there of Tom Thumb giving us the thumbs up, if you will. traveled with P.T. Barnum. I believe the two were actually related somehow. He might have been a distant relation to P.T. Barnum and actually performed in front of Abraham Lincoln and the Queen, which is pretty amazing. This case here has some of his actual clothing of Tom Thumb. The very, very small little clothes here, the full three-piece suit and riding boots. The bearded lady, Annie Jones, the original Siamese twins, Chang and Eng Bunker, were actually buried in North Carolina near Mount Airy. Some authentic circus throwing knives from the early 20th century. These would be where, you know, someone stands against a wall and you chuck knives, just barely missing them. Here is a strongman sculpture. So he has a strongman bent this piece of iron to form this beautiful piece of art. This is the Queen of Sword Swallowers, Edna Price, and some actual swallowed swords here. This is Dan Meyer's swallowed sword, and they have a patch for the Sword Swallowers Association International. Apparently there's an association of sword swallowers. And that's an x-ray of a sword down someone's throat. Look how far it goes down there. Pretty much down through their entire chest. Over here we have the Lobster Boy, Grady Stiles Jr., possibly the most evil sideshow performer to ever live. He was incredibly abusive to his family. He had a chip on his shoulder, always willing to fight people, and ended up murdering his daughter's boyfriend to prevent her from marrying him, and ended up not going to prison at all because the prison felt like they could not meet his health needs. So got pretty much house arrest for committing murder until he himself was murdered by his own wife. And right there we actually have a plaster hand cast of his hands. He had ectodactyly, which causes his hands to split like that. Why he's referred to as a lobster boy. And then there is an actual copy, a hard copy of his death certificate for when he got murdered for being horrible. And this is Javier Piera, the 167-year-old man. Now he said that he was 167. Apparently that was contested. Not everyone believed him. And there he is on the cover of Police Gazette, smooching. I guess it's that same woman right there, smooching her. It's inside of the magazine. And apparently in his home country of Colombia, he was generally believed to actually be 167 years old. They actually printed stamps with his image on it because of his accomplishment of living a very long time. And this is a lot of fun. There is a Fiji mermaid. A lot of Ripleys do have Fiji mermaids on display. I do think this one, I do not think I've seen this one before. I think this may be one from the vaults taken out. Yeah, I don't remember coming across this particular one in any of their museums. Next up is Ripleys Warehouse, where the first thing we see is a human tattoo that has been removed. And it was a home job. This guy rubbed salt into his tattoo until it basically became a piece of salty ham, and he peeled it off. Yeah, everything in here in boxes. You got Rupert, the British D-Day dummy, where they would actually drop fake people like this from parachutes to create the illusion that more people were being dropped than actually were. See the Egyptian section over here. This is an ancient Egyptian mummy here. Oh boy. And down here, not a whole mummy, but a mummy's hand, and a mummified falcon. This is one of the few things that remained after the major renovation they had years ago. This is a prison cell from Brushy Mountain Prison. I actually was able to explore Brushy Mountain Prison while it was abandoned. It now is a tourist attraction. And there is the Cuban pop-eyed man who is in prison here for unknown reasons. And over here we have this is the Fiji mermaid they've always had here at Ripley's Gatlinburg. This may be the first Fiji mermaid I ever saw. And for those of you who don't know, the Fiji mermaid was a sideshow gaff or fake where they combined a monkey with a fish and claimed it was a real mermaid. This fully grown four-legged rooster here. Got the two legs sticking out his rear. I think I should fire a few shots here at the old Ripley shooting gallery. Of course, some of the shooting galleries themed to the local area. So of course, being in Gatlinburg, it has to be a moonshine still. Grab our green shotgun here. See if we can hit the moonshine still. Oh, it's so hard. Oh my gosh. My aim is off. There we go. There we go. See the Popeye there? Human Popeye there peeked out of the top of the moonshine still. There we go. Roasting a rubber chicken. Oh, what's in there? What's in there? What is that? Oh, I think that's a shrunken head. From looking down here from the balcony, see that two-trunked elephant, that albino giraffe down there in the lobby. We have the lizard man over here in the corner. So of all these Ripley's characters, I've actually met 3 of them in real life. This is the hammerhead here, who bends large pieces of metal with his skull. See, he's hammered these nails into this metal with his head. He's bent this hammer in half. And watching this video here, you can see when you look at the wax figure, it looks like there's something wrong with it. Like there's like they made a mistake right here. The wax is messed up. That's actually just what his forehead looks like. Another piece of the original Ripley's here is this huge chunk of the Berlin Wall. You see the famed one-armed wallpaper hanger here, Albert Smith, doing a little work on the Berlin Wall. And this interesting tableau here shows what it would look like if John McEnroe was a weasel. And this is Mop Sheep. Oh, sorry, I got in the way of your picture. You were trying to take a picture here of your beautiful lady friend. You see a giant white alligator up there on top of this cave as we head into the Smoky Mountains section. It's actually a section with a little local flavor here. And that local flavor is horror. You can see the deer here. They got a bee's nest stuck in his antlers, and then the bee stung him to death. Ah, that's a depressing ending. But who had it the worst? The bee deer or this poor guy? Y'all needing a bear hug? I know I am. All right, maybe next time. There are nature's crazy creatures. The two-legged walking horse there, the two-headed calf, and the four-horned geep, I guess a half goat, half sheep. An albino blackbird, which is just straight up ironic. A three-legged rooster. There's actually a four-legged rooster upstairs. Uh-oh, don't tell this guy, he'll get jealous. The five-legged lamb, the eight-legged piglet, and then these back-to-back Siamese piglets here. We head into the cavern here. We see the fireflies. This is a reference to the synchronous fireflies of the Smoky Mountains, not too far from here, over in Elkmont. I've been able to see the synchronous fireflies one time in my life, and it was absolutely magical. You go over to Elkmont, you wait till dark, and the fireflies, they flicker together, so it'll go all completely dark, and then they'll flicker on in the same pattern, and then it goes completely dark in the woods. One of the most amazing things I've seen in nature, and it's hard to get tickets. Yes, you need tickets to see it. You have to be put into a lottery and hope that they draw you, and then you have the privilege of buying tickets. Jen put our names in this year. Unfortunately, we did not make it. So I don't know if I'll ever again be able to see the synchronous fireflies. But we do have some more mutants in here. This is a Siamese calf, Eunice, the unicorn deer with one antler, and This here known simply as a English pub fox. It says, we want your believe it or not. It says, if you believe it, if you have a believe it or not exhibit, please speak to the museum manager. Maybe one day. I don't think I have anything that it is up to the level of believe it or not. And I believe this is actually new here. The pressed penny machine has a jackalope on it. It says this was my penny. Smash me. These are pretty fun designs. Unfortunately, the machine here is busted. This is stuck, meaning the machine is non-operational. So nice to be back here in the Smoky Mountains for the time being. I feel like I haven't been here in a long time. I haven't been here. I've been on the road for 2 months. And you know, this is, you know, I live about an hour and a half from here. So this is kind of sort of my home. And I feel like I've been neglecting my home. I've been experiencing what there is to experience here in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. And now, in 2 days, I'm getting on a plane to begin my Hawaii trip. Looking forward to that. But once I return, I do want to spend a little time back at home, maybe exploring the Smoky Mountains, exploring the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. So if there's anything you'd like me to check out, leave a comment in the comment section of things you'd like to see here in the Smoky Mountains in upcoming videos. Now, of course, if you like these videos, please consider subscribing. If you're new to the channel, I travel around the country filming roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun, random stuff. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more gets you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also down in the Etsy shop, we have some souvenirs, some pressed pennies, motel key fobs, enamel pins, and stickers. And all those things, of course, help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag. Oh, I just want to let you know, I figured out where the other mold machine is in Tennessee. I should have known this. It's in Nashville at Third Man Records, Jack White's record shop, where he has his famous guitar as a mold. And sometimes, occasionally when you go in there, it actually works.